And so since we did that, let's do, of course, the greatest thing ever. Let's go over to our coding machine, go back to day 1, and look for, what is it, binary search. Oh, yeah, look at that. So now we can implement binary search right here, right now. So notice that we're given a haystack and a needle again. So as always, let's start off, of course, with the Lord's loop, a do while loop. You can just use a while. You don't have to use this. And let's create a let low equals 0. Whoopsies. And a high, I'll just keep them the same naming convention as my pseudocode. A high equals the haystack.length. Awesome. So now, again, we need to grab the midpoint. So let's go const m for midpoint, math.floor, and we'll do low plus high minus low divide by 2. I put that little note, don't forget to divide by 2, because when I programmed this, it took me like 3 minutes to realize I had a bug because I forgot to divide by 2. Don't forget to divide by 2. It's very, very important. Const value, of course, is going to be haystack. M, you're going to see this a lot in algorithms that they use single letter variables to denote everything. I'm just kind of following the pseudocode style, so that way it's a fairly easy direct translation from this into here. Normally, program with good names, but in this case, we're just going to keep it like that. All right, so if value is equivalent to the needle, we have found it, right? I'll take that down here and do a little false. There we go. And we need to come up with a nice condition right here. As, of course, is while low is less than high. All right, so our three conditions, of course, are going to be when value is equivalent to needle. We found it. Awesome. Let's return true. But if value is greater than needle, that means anything to the right-hand side is going to be greater than me. I'm already greater than at this current point, so the rest of the right-hand side is going to be greater than. So I want to reduce the high side to this point and exclude the midpoint. So high equals midpoint, because remember, high is exclusive, low is inclusive. Awesome. Let's just cut and paste that. So we can reverse the condition, or we can just do an else statement. We'll just do an else statement to make it simple. Now remember, what this means now is that our value is less than our needle, which means that we need to search on the higher side, right? Our needle is greater than our value. That means if we're going to exist in this array, we're somewhere in the greater side region. So low equals midpoint plus 1, because again, drop the midpoint. You don't want to look at the midpoint again. It would be silly if you looked at the midpoint again. Just having these conditions all in your brain, long as I've done this all correct, we should be able to see this thing go first try. Okay, let me just make sure that I've actually done this correct. npx just binary. Oh, that is not how you spell binary, is it? Come on. Oh, OK, well, we have 2 operations in there. Don't look at the second one, compare binary tree. You're not actually supposed to see that quite yet. So let's pretend the man behind the curtain doesn't exist. Look at that. Our binary search actually worked. It was first try. All right. There you go. So I don't think I put this in my presentation, but one of my first interviews at Google, they made me code binary search in Google Docs. It was terrible, and I had +1, -1 issues all over the place. I didn't come into it with a really clean idea of exactly what needed to happen. This algorithm is actually pretty simple, right? Like, that's not a hard amount of code to do. It's, it's really only, what, 7 lines of actual code. The rest is all spacing, or, it's like nothing, right? Initialization and spacing. So it's actually a pretty simple piece of code. It's just being able to focus on this and do this correctly. Do we have any questions?
Just a quick thing. In the repo, I couldn't see the day 1 folder. Do we have it there? I just see the test folder in the repo.
Oh, so it is. So what editor are you? So the question was, I can't see the day 1 folder. What's happening? What editor are you using?
I'm using Visual Studio Code.
OK, so code may is it hiding get ignored folders?
I'm not sure about it. Is that there in the get ignored?
It's a get ignored, so that way you can generate a lot of them and you don't have a huge amount of uncommit changes. So if you're using Visual Code, I don't use code. I didn't know that, but if it hides ignored folders, you're not going to be able to see day 1.